Hello, this is Jed Holmes with Live Bellingham Now. We're at the corner of Prospect and Hawley on this beautiful Wednesday in July in Bellingham, Washington. And behind me, Downtown Sounds is getting all set up for the show about 6 p.m. this evening. So Lindsay, tell me a little bit about Downtown Sounds. How did it start?
Oh my goodness. It started in an alley, actually, between the Wild Buffalo and Mindport. I was not with the organization at that point, but it started in 2004 with the goals to just kind of utilize negative space that's not normally used for events like that, put on free concerts for the community. I started the fourth year, the last year that it was in the alley, and then when it evolved, moving out to Bay Street. So started in an alley, now it takes 3 city blocks to put on, which is great.
So what was your role the first year you were involved?
So the organization was called the Downtown Renaissance Network at the time, and I was a senior at Western, and I applied for an internship. It was an event planning internship for Downtown Sounds, and I was just like, oh, I love the word Renaissance, and I want to put on concerts in an alley. That sounds really fun. Yeah, I was an intern my first year at Sounds, and it was spring quarter, and then when my internship was over and I graduated, I really wanted to stay on because I wanted to see the event through. Yeah, I did a lot. We moved dumpsters across Holly Street in the alley that was the Pickford at the time. Or Film is Truth, I'm sorry, Film is Truth. So yeah, it was putting on a concert in an alley was a really unique experience. It was fun.
And had you been involved in live music promotion before that?
No.
So it was your first?
First, but I love live music also. Yeah, it was just really just appealing to work with the community. John Goodman owned the Wild Buffalo at the time, and we kind of shared ideas for booking bands. That was fun. That was kind of something I just did not know how to do at the time, creating offers and working with agents, and that was all a really cool learning experience. But yeah. So
what are some acts that we've had over the years that you've really enjoyed?
Marchworth Marching Band was probably one of the bigger bands that we booked for the size of Sounds at the time. We've had them back a couple times. I love 5 Alarm Funk. Yeah, Polecat was one of our they're not together anymore, but they played on our stage several times, and just so fun, high energy dance, a lot of our favorite local musicians. Petty or Not, honestly, they hardly were. I think they played one gig ever at the Wild Buffalo, and Craig, who owns the Buffalo now, was just you should give us a chance on the sound stage, and it was one of the best nights ever. It was super fun. Acorn Project, another local, and they're my dear friends also. That was fun. They just they I think just had their 20th anniversary is coming up, which is really cool.
Well, I like thinking of Downtown Sounds as kind of this postcard of reasons to visit Bellingham, because everyone's out downtown during the summer, and if you were to take a snapshot of just everyone out in the street drinking beer, hanging out with their friends, watching live music, it's really a perfect encapsulation of the downtown experience in the summertime.
Totally, yeah.
And probably the coolest thing to do on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, what else are you going to do on a Wednesday?
Yeah. And then everyone goes forth into the town. And
Downtown Sounds is certainly a fundraiser for our nonprofit organization. We do a lot of things events that make us money, obviously, and then we also do things that are just community goodwill. Sounds just when we brought it back after COVID, we brought it back in 2021, but just we were are people gonna come, or people still kind of hesitant, and there's just so many people came, and we saw everyone dancing in the street and all their smiles, and it was awesome. That's why we do it.
So this is a pretty major event in town. In the summertime. How do you even go about planning and putting it together?
The first thing we really tackle is sponsorship, and that's something that we do far in advance, obviously, just to track our budget, get sponsors, and then really it's just the permits are probably the kind of second thing. It's just the street closure permit, our liquor license to to have our beer garden, and then really just kind of going down our checklist. Honestly, I start booking bands right in January, in the beginning of the year. We secure a lot of it. There's quarter one to-dos and then a lot of quarter two to-dos, but mainly the permitting and sponsorships are the first things, and then just reaching out to our volunteers, securing our food vendors. Work with our production guy, Eddie, who's with Groove Merchant Northwest. Him and I usually will check in early in the year just to touch base. Here are our rentals. We obviously have a lot of rentals. But yeah, it's really just kind of going through our checklist of logistics and booking bands, which is my favorite part.
So Natalie, when did you join the Downtown Bellingham Partnership, and what is your role?
I joined the partnership last March, so a little over a year. My role is both events and promotion, so I do event support with Lindsey, and then I also work on the promotional aspect of things, so I manage our social media, I do promotions for our events, and all the different kinds of things. Our roles have a lot of overlap and we all work together in a lot of different aspects, and I feel like my role perfectly kind of encapsulates a lot of the different buckets that we work in at the partnership. My first Downtown Sounds was really crazy because I'd never been to Sounds before, so I had really nothing to expect, and we obviously were talking about it, looking at pictures, so I like had an idea of what was happening, but there's nothing like going to your first Sounds and actually experiencing it. And they're long days. We get there, we have volunteers that start at 10 o'clock, and part of my role at Sounds is managing volunteers. We usually get there like a half hour before volunteers show up. When volunteers get there, Lindsey brings us the box trucks, so we're unloading the box trucks with fencing, all of like everything that you see at Downtown Sounds we fit into 2 box trucks and the Spark Museum. So the day for me, leading setup volunteers, helping set up fencing. Midway through the day, we have our food vendors and tabling group show up. And so managing those, like making sure everybody's in the right place, get the beer garden ready, set up VIP, and yeah, just get everything dialed.
Natalie, what's one of your favorite acts that's played Downtown Sounds?
Last year, Lowdown Brass Band played, and it was so fun. I knew that band from growing up as a band kid in high school, and so being able to see them play and just like the most amazing horn section ever was really fun. And like dancing, going behind the stage, it was just the best.
So a lot of great bands that play Downtown Sounds. How do you gauge how to pick a band that's going to be approachable to a wide variety of people?
I mean, honestly, like just like what like genre is best. So like high energy people like obviously love to dance. So just obviously picking things that will appeal to a broad audience. So hence like funk music. It's just super fun. I think Bellingham just loves live music, right? In 2021, when we like the music, like Nightwave was playing, we like made it happen, and my coworkers and I were like standing on the bench that's outside the Spark Museum and just like looking at the sea of people.
Going on the roof of the Faith Life building with our videographer last year, being able to see all the work that we put into setup from an aerial view was so cool. It was like a full circle moment.
Everyone's just like so happy to be back together and to be dancing in the streets, and it was just like the most heartwarming thing ever. We all looked at each other and we were just like, we did it, and everyone's happy, and it was really awesome.
What would you say is happening so far that we've seen?
Well, we're getting well, first of all, the street had to get blocked off this morning. Holly Street is like a main arterial through Bellingham, and so the road gets blocked off. We get a stage set up. A beer garden is going to pop up pretty spontaneously. Right now, it's just all kind of the nuts and bolts of getting the stage set up, getting the tent, and getting all the infrastructure going so that we can put on a little street festival / block party put on by the Downtown Bellingham Partnership in conjunction with the city of Bellingham.
So, Lindsey and Nathalie, it is 11:06 a.m. We're downtown. We started setup. What has happened so far today?
You got here before I did. Go for it.
I got here at 9:30 to set up the inside of the Spark Museum, who's our community partner, where we have storage. And so got there to set that up for volunteers who arrived at 10. Immediately when volunteers got here, they started unloading one of our box trucks that has all of the stuff for VIP in there. We next started unloading fencing, which you can see is starting to get set up. And they're really dialed. We have the same volunteers every week. For setup, we partner with Seeking Health, so their employees come every week. They started doing this last year, and so this year we dialed the situation more, so they're here every week to help us with setup. It's really awesome. Yes, we're grateful to them.
So the volunteers, like what Natalie was saying, help us like unload our box trucks. Setting up the beer garden fencing is a huge component, and then kind of just helping us stage where all the like tables and chairs go, and where banners go, where our pop-up tents go. So it's kind of that first wave, and then we'll kind of typically break for lunch, and then our rest of our staff arrives, and then we kind of take all the things that have been staged and really set them up and kind of make them really organized and look nice. Get Ed and our production crew his lunch, and then yeah, that's kind of that second wave is when food vendors arrive. Our bands obviously arrive and start sound checking. So yeah, first wave is very much set up, and then the second wave is kind of like dialing things in and making all the details kind of come through. We have 2 food court areas. One is right here, and kind of I call it the Faith Life patio because it was like a very designated food truck patio program that they put together a few years ago. And then we utilized the end of Prospect on this side, so we kind of have 2 distinguished food court areas. So yeah, we have site maps on each corner that just helps like orient where Family Alley is, where the main entrance is to the garden, which is right here. But yeah, if you want to get into the garden, the line kind of flows right here and wraps around. And we have folks we're spanning, checking IDs. We have our insider table right here. And so yeah, the main entrance, and when you get inside, on your left we'll have our cashier booth where you can get drink tokens for beer, wine, cider, and then you just follow the line to our keg trailer where we have a ton of our amazing volunteers pouring beer and cider and wine for everyone. And then we also have our merch booth in here. And our VIP, of course.
Northwest Corner Goods does our merch with us, which is really great.
Yes, yeah, so they bring a lot of their own inventory, and then they custom made a really fun bandana for us this year. So we have those, like our volunteers have some of those, and then we have a different color that's available for merch. We also have Downtown Sound tumblers.
The Downtown Sounds tumblers are really cool. When you buy them, you get a free drink token, and they're also 16-ounce cups, and we do 12-ounce pours here, so you also get a
little bit more
extra ounces of beer every time you use it.
You can get those at the cashier booth, and then when you get your tokens, and then you can just reuse that throughout the evening, bring it back, obviously. So yeah, you're getting a little more product, and then you get some cool swag.
Yeah. Insiders get to skip the line to the beer garden, so they can just walk up to the side, flash their insider card, and have their IDs checked and just walk in. $25 and up insiders also have access to our VIP lounge, so their names are already on a list, and all they have to do is come up and to say that they're a 25 plus insider, and they're in there. Our Downtown Insiders program is our downtown loyalty program starting at $5 a month in a donation to the partnership. You earn deals and discounts at 30 plus businesses downtown, really great ones like Third Planet, Pure Bliss, Fringe Boutique, lots of really great businesses. And that's just starting at $5 a month. As $5 a month insider, you get to skip the beer garden entry line at Sounds, which is really nice. So you can be $5, $10, or $25 a month. If you donate $25 a month, you get entry to our VIP lounge at Sounds, which is really nice. Also, as a $25 a month insider, you earn perks at other events that the partnership puts on, like Wine Walk. There's a free VIP upgrade at Wine Walk, so you pay $40 for a general ticket and you automatically get entry to our VIP lounge, which is really exciting. This year, our VIP lounge is at Aslan Depot, and it's a really good time.
And how does someone sign up for Downtown Insiders?
You can find it both on our Instagram and on our website is probably the easiest place to find it. It's just a really quick link. Recurring donation just pulls money on your bank account every month and you don't have to worry about it. There's some fun changes happening this year, so you definitely want to be an insider.
We have North Soul Sound and 5 Alarm Funk, and we're gonna get to sit down with the lead singer of 5 Alarm Funk later today and talk about kind of his musical background and also the band and playing Downtown Sounds, which I'm pretty excited about.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be your favorite.
Yes.
That's what I feel like.
Yes, 5 Alarm Funk, they're the headliners, and then North Sound Soul is opening. I personally haven't seen North Sound Soul. Nathalie has and has raved about them since she saw them. So really excited to pair these two together. Just really two huge like funk, dynamic, high energy bands. 5 Alarm Funk has played at Downtown Sounds in 2015. They're so wonderful to work with. They have such great positive energy, and I'm just so excited for people who haven't seen them before to experience them. It's gonna be great. And then North Sound, you love them.
Yeah, I love them.
I don't get it. Yeah.
They're really fun. They're super high energy. There's 10 of them, so it's like a really big set. They have such a cool sound, and they're really high energy, and we're so lucky to have them.
It's just gonna be a big high energy funky dance party tonight. So if you're into that stuff, you'll enjoy it.
All right, so can you introduce yourself, tell them who you are, what you do?
Hey, Ed Hernandez here, Groove Merchant Northwest, owner-operator. We got 5 Alarm Funk coming on here for Downtown Sounds. It's our second one of the season. This is our 19th year doing it. So happy to be back. I've been doing it for about 30 years. As a company, we started 2002, so our 20-year anniversary was during the vid. And since then, we've just catapulted. I feel blessed that we could just provide good audio and work with really nice people. We do a myriad. Last week we did an indoor concert with rock bands at a casino. A week before that we were at another casino doing a cover rock band. Weeks before that we were doing comedy shows. We do a lot of community work, and we're just happy that we can help this area with audio production and lighting. I just say it's something where you can't really take it personal because we work with so many different people and you don't never know where they're going to come from, and we all got to treat them as human beings because that's what they are. Some of them make it to stardom, and we're really happy when we get to work with those, but they're still people. So we still need to treat them like people. And if you're thinking of getting into the music industry, go to every show you can, do anything you can, pick up whatever you can, help out wherever you can, because that's half the job. The part you're going to see is we're mixing and we're on our iPads and we're on our mixing boards. But then, as you were here earlier, we got to see everybody come in, our crew's setting up, and then of course after the show, it's the opposite. We call that the glamorous part. It's most of the things that people don't see, so just have them be prepared. Don't expect to come right out of school and start mixing on a console. That's a pretty rare opportunity.
And then if people want to work with you in the future or learn more about your business, where should they look?
Look at groovemerchantnorthwest.com. We also have a Facebook page, Groove Merchant Northwest. We do everything from mentoring from children to high schoolers, and we prefer people that do have some technical knowledge, because then that way we could help them to achieve their dreams. And as you see, it's time to go. As we say, it's all in the mix.
Sounds looking like right now.
Downtown Sounds is about ready to roll here in about, I'd say 45 minutes. We're kind of in the family area / food court. I just ordered a hot dog from Jay Glizzy's, the B-ham dog, so I'm looking forward to that. Are you filming me?
Yeah.
You ready for the Glizzy review?
Yeah.
All right, I got the B-ham dog. It looks like we got crispy onions, scallions, and cheese whiz over at Jay Glizzy's. I'm gonna see what this is all about.
Out of 10.
Ooh, out of 10? Hot dog? Let's see. I'm giving it an 8.5.
What stands out?
The cheese whiz, the crispy onions. It's a hot day for a hot dog, but you know, many people don't notice it, but hot dog was recoined as the glizzy during the COVID pandemic, and now the preferred nomenclature is glizzy. So 5 out of 5 glizzies.
My name is Pierce Morris. I'm a collaborative partner for the Cup Project, reusable cup catering service for medium to large events in Whatcom County. Downtown Sounds is our first pilot project, and we're super excited because so far it's been a smashing success. The main goal is to ultimately reduce single-use plastic, whether that be bioplastics, compostables, PLAs, or just your typical petroleum-based plastics. So right now, since it's a pilot, we're only doing the VIP section, but basically anyone who's coming to VIP gets one of these cups. They get to reuse it as much as they'd like, and when they're done with it, they just place it right into our cup return, and that's it. Look out for these cups at your next event, and make sure not to take any because this is a community-driven project. And yeah, we're trying to create a circular shared economy for Bellingham.
We're really grateful to our title sponsor, WeQ, who has been a sound sponsor for the past years. This event is obviously a huge community collaboration. We really rely on the Spark Museum heavily. They allow us to use their event space to store all of our stuff. That's our green room, that's our hangout place, our air-conditioned room. Bayou on Bay provides food for the opening band, which is really great. Boundary Bay Brewery has been a huge partner in Sounds forever. You can always find their beer. You can find their Sounds special brew there, which is really good. Gotta try it. Last year, we were able to work with a lot of different breweries every week, so we had rotating taps. Boundary was always on tap, and then we rotated out other breweries like Aslan, Wander, different cideries, Lost Giants, Bellingham Cider Company. So you can find basically any of your favorite local breweries featured at Sounds at least once. There's just so many groups of people who come together to make this the amazing time that it is for our downtown. Prepare for the best energy in the whole world. It's just like so fun, and you're always seeing somebody that you know. It's like a big community hug. I feel like this event just like brings every aspect of our community together. There's families, people coming from out of town. There's just always something new and always positive energy, and it's just the best.
And that's a wrap for setting the stage, the making of Downtown Sounds. We'll see you next year for the 20th anniversary. Thanks for watching. So, Lindsay, what's your favorite Fish song?
Oh my gosh. Don't laugh. You know it's Tweezer. What's yours?
Reba. 100
Ah.
times out of 100.
Okay.
It's Reba.
That's hard to answer though. There's so many.
Yeah, but it's
I mean, I always wanted Tweezer at a show because it's so fun, but I have,
top 100.
Oh my God. How, you got all day?